Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome from beautiful Bangkok, Thailand. Yes, I know you can't tell, but this is Bangkok, Thailand. I am in Pakamara Coffee, having a wonderful coffee right now. Panama Geisha, I guess that's what it's called. It's one of their cuppers selection. So it's one of their finer coffees, which, to be honest, it's a light roast, so it's a little, it's not very heavy. It's very light on the flavor. It's supposed to have a lemon lime, sugary sweet flavor to it, but I don't know, to me it just seems really light. And I mean, it's good, but anyway, that's where I am. And today we're going to go over whether or not Bangkok is losing its charm. Is it becoming like Singapore or China? I don't know if it's heading in that direction, but we're going to take a look at that. That's what we're going to talk about today. But first, right now, the dollar is 34.14 to the baht. That's good news. And the air quality is a wonderful 22. So it's very, very clear out today. Very nice. 74 degrees. It's cool out. High of 86. Low of 72. And the feel-like temperature is lower than the temperature because the winds are making it cooler. The winds are 20 kilometers an hour. That's about 13 miles an hour. And humidity is 68. It's partly cloudy. And it's delightful. It's very nice out. I went out today and I went, oh, it's nice and cool out. It's a perfect temperature. Now, if the sun were out, it would be warmer, but the sun's not out. It's cloudy, but it's still great out. It's really nice. I don't care about the clouds. I want to read off some of the people who have helped make this this stream and my videos possible. So I'm just going to get right to it and read them off. Carnivore Chronicles, Carlos C., Billy Ray, Mr. Jim, Mr. Sam, Mr. Mitch, Mr. Dowlo, Mr. Andy Travels, Narve, David, Robert, Firedude, Florin, NCS Play Inc., Gills, Dale, there you go, Dale, Charles, there's Andy Travels, all right, Charles, BeasonTom, Chris, Bahtman, VictorBruce, Chuck, Henry, Tony, Elaine, Lee, Mindy, Tim, Elaine, no, Alan, sorry, Alan, Mr. Alan, Suwon, John, Stephen, and we cannot forget Mr. Dimitri. So thank you very much. I appreciate it very much. Thank you for making this this possible. Alrighty now. We're going to get right to it today. Andy, where are you at? Where are you? You know, after living in Thailand for as long as I have, 30 years, I've seen the highs and the lows here. Bangkok has changed so much, and sometimes I wonder, has it lost its charm? Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Even with all the negatives here, I believe Thailand is one of, if not the best, places in the world to live. It's one of the best. You know, I always hesitate to say, oh, it's the best, it's the greatest, I mean, you know, if you ask who's the greatest boxer ever, I'm going to say Sugar Ray Robinson. But I know there's other people that will disagree with me. You know, some people go, oh, Floyd Mayweather. I'm going to go, no, definitely not. So, you know, with all the negatives and the positives, Thailand is still right up there. It's, I would say, by anybody's, in anybody's view, Thailand is going to be in the top 10, no more than the top 20, but I'm going to say they're probably in the top 10 because there's a lot going for it here, and it remains one of the best places in the world to live. So I'm going to break this down, and we got to look at the negatives before we look at the positives. You know, the cost of living, as I talked about the other day, the cost of living is rising. I'm home hot today, 43. Tomorrow here in Melbourne. You know, I was going to stay home, and I just went, I feel like having a coffee, and I don't want to make it myself. That's why I'm here. I just wanted the coffee, to be honest. I could have streamed from home. But the rising cost of living, and the cost of living is rising everywhere, especially in the United States. I mean, and look at Australia, it's very expensive. The UK is very expensive. A lot of the first world countries, they're very expensive. So the fact that the costs are rising here is no surprise. And fortunately, I believe we're still at the point where if you've got to pay more for some things, you can either forego paying for them and get something else, or you can get a little bit less and then get something more of something else. There are ways around it, okay? And when it comes to the charm, let's face it, Bangkok is becoming modernized. It is already modernized, right? So maybe some of that is contributing to the loss of traditional charm, but I still think that there's something there. Pollution and overcrowding in Bangkok, I mean, they're rampant. I mean, pollution, on some days, you walk outside, you don't have a mask on, you can just taste the soot in the air. I'm not kidding. Depends on where you are, but you can taste it. You can see it everywhere. I mean, I can go right down the street. Right down the street here is a perfect example. I go just past, what is that? I don't know what that's called. It's across the street from Happy Land, and then you walk up. It's in between Happy Land and Lotus. There's a canal. There's a canal just over here. On the other side of the pavement that leads people back to the back of the mall into the canal in the back. Well, there's a little thin canal that runs into the canal. And there's a canal over here. Now, it's extremely polluted. I mean, it's so bad. You don't want to fall in, much less go swimming. I mean, there is just, I hesitate to say that it's toxic, but it might be. There is garbage. I dare say there's got to be shit in there, you know, human waste. There's got to be all kinds of things in there that you don't even want to know. Dead animals, I don't know, but it doesn't look good. And while this is an upper middle income country, I think to get it to the next level, that's something that needs to be addressed. And I've talked about this for a long time. Air pollution is another thing. And then, you know, who knows what kind of pollution the automobiles are churning out. I can tell you that the boat taxi on the Sansap and on the Chao Phraya most of them are churning out all kinds of soot. You can see black soot coming from the back of these boat taxis. The only exception is the electric boats, which are on the Chao Phraya and on the Sansap. The other thing that is negative for Thailand is that other countries are catching up. They're improving their infrastructure and they're offering alternatives that are better than what Thailand has to offer. For instance, in Cambodia, you can stay in Cambodia long term far easier than you can here. You don't need to show much. And you can stay there. The Philippines also. Vietnam, not so much, but Vietnam has some other things that compare with Thailand. There's a lot to see in Vietnam. A lot to see and do. You know, the thing is about Thailand is that even though it has these negatives, it is still quite affordable. I mean, even for me, I mean, really, it's, you know, it's not like I came here and I had a bundle of money and I was like, oh, everything's great. I don't have to worry about anything for the rest of my life. You know, when I came here 30 years ago, I had 10 grand and that money went quick. You know, and I had money coming in every month. So now things are better, but it's not like I'm living off of, you know, $200,000 a year. So it's still quite affordable, even with the rising prices. You know, I mean, if you look at automobiles, they're expensive. Motorcycles, not so much. Motorcycles might be $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for like little 125 to about 350 cc's. And I have considered this for a long time, but considering that I'm in Bangkok most of the time, and I don't want to drive a motorcycle in Bangkok. For what? You know, I haven't used the SkyTrain. I'll probably be using it in the next week. But I haven't used it in about 2 months, 2.5 months. I just get in a taxi because I'm not traveling that much. So I just get in a taxi or I take a motorbike or I take the boat or whatever. And then it's very easy. It's very affordable also. Well, you know, one of the things that I would say is that the government pushing the vendors off the streets was a mistake. Because that would always allow Thailand to stay somewhat traditional while having skyscrapers right around all the food. So people could just walk down the street. Now, I don't know why they did away with it. I don't know what their reasoning was. But that's how it is. That's how it's been for quite some time. And if I want something to eat, I get some. It's still very easy to get something to eat. In most areas, it's extremely easy to get something to eat. So that's a strong point, even though they took away the vendors selling on the streets. You know, you either go to a shop house, go to a restaurant, you go into the mall or whatever, and in some places you're going to find some vendors. I mean, listen, if I go down the street, I don't do this, but I have done it in the past. What is it, soy 130 or 132? There's all these little shop houses right there, and they all sell. There's probably 30 restaurants that you can get food from. Now, they're not out on the street like, you know, out on the sidewalk, but they're out from the shop houses because they extend out. So, you know, And the other thing is that the culture itself, for some reason, I don't know what it is, it's a beautiful culture here. You know, if you can get away from just thinking tourism where it's, give me, how much you spend. Come on, mister, that's 500 baht when you know it's really, 250. If you get away from that mentality, the culture is fabulous. I mean, I've been sitting here, people I don't know, they've just walked up and started talking to me. We have nice conversations. Thai people. We have nice conversations. I have nice conversations with these people all the time that work here. I had a nice conversation with them today. In fact, I videotaped them making my coffee today because they made it with the pour over. This is a regular coffee. So if I'm a little amped, it's because I'm drinking a whole cup of coffee, not a little espresso. It's pretty good. So that in itself is nice. Great people, great culture. It's a beautiful country if you get away from dirty canals and a few dirty fields here and there. If you get away from those things, and especially if you're out in the countryside, there's a lot of beauty to be had. Go down in the south, go to the islands, check out the islands. Certain parts of the city here, they're beautiful. And yes, other countries are beautiful too, but I think overall, Thailand still has a lot to offer. The people are generally very warm and hospitable, and you can't say that in every place you go. The other thing is that it is a mix of modern and traditional, and you can, just about everywhere you go, they got internet. I mean, really. You could go almost anywhere and you have internet. And if you want to just pay whatever it is, $13 a month, you can get 5G for like all month. So with that regard, I mean, that's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a bad thing because I don't want to see my wife or my kids sitting on the phone all the time and we don't have conversations. And generally, if that starts to happen, I go, hey, you got to put that phone away. I just tell her, listen, you guys got to put it away. We're here to have a good time. My wife has been talking about going to Phuket, which is in Lui. The only problem is that they closed the park there because a wild elephant killed a woman, I think it was a woman, just the other day, like 2 days ago. She got trampled. It attacked her twice. And so we were going to go there. I don't know if we're going to go or not, because if we're going to go, we may go next month. I got all these places to go. I got one other place I want to go, and maybe I'll go with Alex. But I don't think I want to go this month because, I'm trying to save money while I'm trying to travel, while I'm trying to buy equipment. So I have to kind of spread it out a little bit. But there's a couple places that I want to go, and in the next couple of months, we will do that. The internet in Thailand is way better than here in Oz. Well, I think it's better than in the U.S. too. My mother's always telling me how we had to call the internet provider. I'm like, I can't even remember the last time I talked to him. And what happens is, I'll call them up. Oh, the internet's down. Oh, I can't connect to the internet. I call them up, call True up. We're sorry, but right now we're having problems. The internet should be up shortly. Please try back in 1 hour if, whatever. Hey, Carlos, how you doing? You in the U.S. now? It's good coffee. Even though it's light. You're all settled? In the U.S. How's things going? we've been thinking about going back, maybe in May. But, you know, I'm always thinking about the money. My wife is not. She's like, oh, we gotta go. I'm like, that's $4,000 for 4 people at least, plus spending money and everything else. Walking still coming now. There's a bit of a nip in the air, very pleasant. Yeah, it's a little bit cool today. Most Western countries are crap and almost everything nowadays. Listen, I turned on the YouTube earlier today, and I saw, the first thing I saw pop up was the state of healthcare in the United States. And this guy was going, I got 5 stitches. It was $3,800 for 5 stitches. But my insurance paid $2,000. I had to pay $1,800. He said, then when I went back to get them taken out, I went to the clinic because they told me I could go to the clinic. The clinic said no. Because of your insurance and how it's set up, you've got to go to the hospital. He said, okay, well, is it free? You know, like, why do I need to go there? I mean, what's the difference? They said, oh, you got to go there. That's how things work. We think it's free. He goes there, and they tell him, oh, no, it's not free. You got to pay. He's like, why do I have to pay to get my stitches out? Well, you can't get a straight answer on why. It's the policy, right? So what he does is he says, I'll take them out myself. It's only 5 stitches. It's not like it's a complicated thing and there's 50 stitches in his head and, you know, some in his nose, and he can't afford to make a mistake. So he says, I'll do it. So then one of the nurses says, hang on 1 second. She comes back with a pair of tweezers and scissors in a sterile package, and she says, here, don't say anything, use these to get the stitches out. So we got a pair of scissors, which you can get, I mean, okay, let's face it, if you want a pair of good scissors, maybe it'll cost you $5. You want a pair of tweezers, maybe it costs you $3. So maybe it'll cost you $8. I don't care where it is. I got tweezers here, I got plenty of scissors, I got everything. I don't need to get it. So for $8, he can do it himself, and he doesn't have to pay whatever it is to get them out. Which he didn't say that. But still, $1,800 for 5 stitches. That's crazy. So Carlos, how is everything going? You all right? How's your mother? Well, it's a little bit of a racket here, but, you know, it's a cheaper racket. We'll say that. And if you're smart about things, it doesn't have to be real expensive. Now, let me see something here. Thailand is not perfect. And it does have its share of issues. But when you stack it up against other places like the United States, like Australia, like the UK, like many other places, it still offers a lifestyle, culture, and affordability that is hard to beat. And in the end, the negatives do not outweigh the positives. And therefore, I say it's much better here than it is in many other places. So that's the big question. Has Bangkok and Thailand as a whole lost its charm? I don't think it has. And I've seen a lot of changes. But what do you think? Is Thailand still as special as it used to be? Or are the changes too much? I mean, listen, if you knew what it was like here 31 years ago, you would know it was much different. I still remember going down Sukhumvit Road in a taxi. There was no SkyTrain. And getting out of the taxi because it was easier to walk. It was faster to walk than it was to take a taxi. So, you know. Well, I guess Carlos is gone. Well, the temples have never been my thing. I don't come for the temples. I come for some of the other things that are a little more exciting. Oh, you're here, okay. Oh, you did, okay. Oh, I see, all right. I don't come to Thailand for the temples. You know, people come here to Thailand, this is the truth, people come for women. There's a lot of people that come for women, but the women don't keep them here. You know, generally, the women are not going to keep them here. You may go, oh God, I've got to stay here. Oh my God, I don't want to leave my girl. Oh, that is not enough to keep you here. It's everything else. The women may bring you here. You may come over here because, oh, I got to see my girl. And then after a while, it's like, okay, I saw my girl. You know. I mean, you know, there's always going to be stuff that are for tourists. It doesn't matter if they're Thai tourists or Western tourists. And I remember walking from Chiang Rai to Chiang Mai, and there was a temple on the right-hand side, and I just stopped because I just thought this is a good place to rest. And, you know, it had all kinds of little things in it, and I'm like, you know what? This is not for me. And I don't mean because I don't particularly love temples. I just think if you see one temple, you see them all. There are some different temples. There are some places you can go. I highly recommend going to Wat Phutok in Bangkok, which I've said this a million times, but it's just because the whole temple is a different experience. It's not like, the temple itself is pretty much the same. It's getting to the top, it's going and seeing everything. That's what's different. Listen, I've been to a lot of temples. I went to one temple, it was in Chengdao. And it was, I forget what it was, but they had all kinds of tributes to dead people. And then near the Mae Klang, the railway, there's a temple, and I just said, you know what? I'm here, I might as well go. I'm not into the temples, but you know what? I'll go. So I go to this temple, and what it was they had all these warriors that had spears, swords, bows and arrows. They had everything you could imagine. There must have been 100 warriors all throughout the temple. Well, the thing is that itself is great. Okay, I just pay, $30 a month and I've got myself a visa. Okay, and Thailand can do that too. But the thing is Thailand is better to stay than Cambodia. It is much better. And I haven't been to Cambodia in a couple of years now. But I've been there 50 or 60 times. Many, many times. I've been all over the country. I've been in places where a lot of people have never been. I've been on rivers that, you know, I was the only guy on the river. And that's the other thing, you know, listen, yeah, Cambodia is being bought out by the Chinese. You know, now, is Thailand becoming like China? Maybe a little bit. Some of the negatives, Bangkok's modernization, as I said, is a double-edged sword, because you got the skyscrapers and the malls, and it looks like a very modern, traditional, modern city in the traditional sense, global city, but it's replaced a lot of the old world charm, the wooden houses, the quiet canals, the slower pace of life. But you can get to these places in places like Kutichin, the Portuguese area. You can go to Chinatown. You can go to a lot of places that are still traditional. 30 years ago, Bangkok was ridiculously affordable. People talk about, oh, $500, $1,000, you can live in Thailand. Okay, listen, $1,000, if you're living rent-free, you paid off a mortgage, whatever. If you don't eat very much, if it's not you, your wife, and your 3 kids, maybe you can live off $1,000. But when you add in health care, and if you're older, if you're in your 60s and you got to pay for health care costs money, dental care costs money. Oh yeah, it only cost me $1,000 to get my teeth cleaned. Really, most places are going to cost a little bit more. And then what the thing is, once you have a problem, you're going to pay more. You still have to pay for your visa. And if you need new clothes, listen, I'm getting ready to buy a bunch of clothes in the next month or two, because I've got all kinds of t-shirts. I used to have nothing but pullover shirts. Now I got a few pullover shirts and about 75 t-shirts. But I don't want the t-shirts. The t-shirts are getting old now. So I'll go out and I'll buy some pullover shirts. And then I'll catch up with the pullover shirts. You know what I mean? You got to spend, and I'm talking pullover shirts. You want a nice pullover shirt, it's at least 2,000 baht. Yeah, you can go and buy yourself a little 149 baht shirt, but you know, most of the time, unless you're a little guy, it's not going to fit you. It ain't going to fit me. Carlos, me, Billy, Jono, all the people that live here, they know. Seldom can you go out and buy something from the market that's going to fit you properly or fit you well. So the clothes in itself, if you're somebody who really likes clothes, or you want to go out and buy a watch once a year or whatever it is, you know, you're going to go out and buy a computer. You're some guy on $1,000 a month budget. You're going to go out and buy a computer for $800, $1,000. That's, you know, that's almost 10% of your money. You better be making money from that. It is cheaper than in the West, but the gap is narrowing. And I guess that's what I really, you know, that's what I'm getting to, is that people say it's so cheap here. No, it's not so cheap. It's cheap. It's cheaper. But the gap is narrowing. Is there many shops in Bangkok? Well, all the shops have, not all of them, but most of them have things like XL, XXL. And, you know, like, depending on, if it's a US, I wear XL. If it's Thai, I wear XXL. You know, so, yeah, that is the point. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's just the way that things go. And so here you are, you're looking for a place that's cheaper, and it is cheaper. It's great. I love it. I love the fact that, know I don't need much money. I don't need much money if I don't want it. Oh, I'm going to... Today, listen, I bought a coffee today. I got to tell you. I bought this coffee today. They have a program here where they have a passport and they have these cuppers selection. It's like the best coffees from around the world. And last week was Ecuador. This week is Panama. It's called Panama Geisha. Now, last week, the coffee was about $10.50 for a cup of coffee. I mean, it's a fantastic cup of coffee. It's the best that they have. They make it for you. They give you free water. They give you stickers. They give you stamp your passport. And you can write in the passport what you think, the flavors, blah, blah, blah. Today's coffee, this coffee that I have, $13.20. One cup of coffee. And I don't usually buy coffee that's 13 bucks. I buy coffee that's $2.50, $3. That's what I almost always buy. But because I'm trying to do this and I want to try the finer coffees that they have once a week or once every 2 weeks, okay, I'll do it. And that's fine for me. But you're going to tell me, listen, this is almost $15. That's what the price is in America. Coffee here is almost the same price as it is in the United States. In some places, it's more expensive. So, the gap is narrowing, that's the point. Traffic is still a nightmare despite the BTS and MRT expansions. And let's not forget the air pollution. It's a real issue because it impacts health and quality of life. Well, listen, I can get, what is it? Is it 2.5, what the hell is it, 250 grams? 500 grams? I get 500 grams, a kilo of coffee for the same thing that I pay. I understand, I got all kinds of coffee at home. I'm running out of some. I know all about coffee. Lavazza, Illy, Segafredo, I know all about it. And sometimes I just go, you know what? Their average coffee here is fine. Yes, coffee prices are going up. All prices seem to be going up. Banana prices are going up. It is very good. It kind of wears on you a little bit. Places like Ho Chi Minh, Phnom Penh, Kuala Lumpur, they are catching up with Bangkok, and they're having better infrastructure. There are growing expat communities and competitive living costs. So Bangkok by no means has a monopoly on being the best city in Southeast Asia. There are a lot of people that are like, you know what? Hey, I find this place fantastic. Some people love Phnom Penh. I don't like Ho Chi Minh City because I think it's too damn chaotic. Same thing with Phnom Penh, depending on where you are. If you live on the riverside, I'm talking about in the heart of everything, in Phnom Penh, it's friggin' crazy. It's always noisy. You never get any peace. And you know what? I saw something by Denzel Washington where he was talking about why things are different as he gets older. And I thought, usually he has a lot of good things to say. He's a smart guy. So I listened to him. He says, as I get older, it's not that I don't want to spend more time with my friends. It's not that I want to be alone away from everybody, but I value my time and I don't want to give it away as easily. And I want, in some ways, to be surrounded by silence because I am not alone, but I am serene in my solitude. And that's what it is. That's why, okay, I come here and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Listen, 11, 12 o'clock, man, I'm out of here. I come in here early, there's a little noise, but not much. By 11, 12 o'clock, I've got everything I need from the grocery store. Sometimes I go down to the market, I do what I have to do. Bam, I go home, man. Nobody's bugging me at home, it's peaceful. And that's kind of what I like. These other places are catching up. I don't personally like Ho Chi Minh, I prefer Hanoi, but even Hanoi is chaotic. The point of this is that Bangkok, the gap between Bangkok and all the other cities, major cities, not all the other cities, but many of the cities in Southeast Asia, the gap is narrowing. And Bangkok has made a lot of gains, with the infrastructure, the internet, all these kind of things. They've grown and they've gotten better, bigger, better, faster. But listen, people like Malaysia. I don't like it. I don't know why. I'm just not into it. Now, maybe if I went to a beach, I need to go to a beach. Maybe I would like it. Maybe I would really enjoy it. I do not like Singapore, and I don't want Thailand to become like Singapore, and I damn sure don't want it to become like China. But I sure to hell don't like Singapore. To me, Singapore, I don't know, there was a guy, I forget who it is, that lived in, I think Firedude used to live in Singapore. But let me tell you something. I've been to Singapore probably 20 times. I've been there for, a couple of weeks, 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time. And I found it extremely boring. Because when I was there, the casinos they weren't built, or they were just being built. Now, I don't want to go into the casinos. I'm not a gambler. I don't want to gamble my money away. I'm not going to go into casinos. Now, I would go there for an event. Okay, yeah. If there was a great concert or something like that, I would go. But for anything else, I wouldn't go. So I'm not going to go there. So what's left in the city? Okay, you can go out to some clubs or something like that. They're expensive. Not only that, what I think Singapore is for, shopping and eating. Once you shop and you've got what you need or what you want, and you've spent a bundle of money, it's time to leave. So I'm not into Singapore. And I mean, listen, I don't have a car, and the infrastructure in Singapore, while it is very good, there are a lot of little holes. Like, you can't just walk out to the street, stick your arm out and get a taxi. You got to get in a queue, in a line somewhere where you catch the taxis. Thank you, Ed IC. Thank you. Let me continue here. Listen, where's this paper I got here? Yeah, I mean, I've been to Singapore many times. I had to be there for work. And that's quite a bit different than going just for fun. I had to deal with people and make sure things got done and stuff like that. Now, okay, so I did these things, got everything done, and all in all, I had a decent time because I was there with some friends that were colleagues, friends that I worked with. And we would go out and do things together. But, even the guy I worked with, he noticed it too. We're in a club. First of all, we were with this guy he's a Singaporean. He's married to a Singaporean. He's a Singaporean Brit, and she's just Singaporean. He's got a couple of kids. He's telling me, oh, we only have one car because getting a car here is really expensive, and it was very expensive. Every time he had to park, it was a major pain in the ass. Then he's always running behind. The wife needs him to do this. She needs him to do that. She's got a wedding shop. She needs this. She needs that. He's got to go run around for her because he's got the car, and she can't leave the business. So, you know, it was... We would go out, and he would always be like going, I gotta go, my wife's waiting for me. You know, it was just we went out in one club, we were in this club. The club was all right. I mean, you know, it was a club, it wasn't like a dancing place, or it was nothing like that. It was a bar, it was a club. We go in, nice place, but the drinks were like $12 each. I'm like, Jesus Christ, every time I have a drink, I mean, you know, I drink 5 drinks, it's $60. I'm like, I do that in Thailand, it's, you know, maybe it's 25. So, first of all, I'm not a big drinker. So that doesn't bother me that much. But I just remember sitting there with the guys, and we're looking around, and these people, all we hear them talking about is work. Joe's got to do this. If he doesn't get it done by tomorrow, oh my God, I don't know how we're going to get this project completed. That's all I heard. I didn't hear, hey man, look at that chick over there, man. She looks, ooh, look at that. Oh my God. I didn't hear any of that. And I've been to a lot of bars there, you know. I've been to the 4 Floors of Horrors. I've been to Geylang. I've been to everywhere. You just don't hear that. You don't hear the guys going, hey, 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 you know. I just, you know. So I don't want Thailand to become that. If you enjoy my channel, consider supporting the channel in one form or another. Smash the like button. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. There are a few ways you can show the love through Super Chat, YouTube Super Chats, Super Thanks. You can become a YouTube member. $1.99. You can use the Cash App, Buy Me a Coffee, Patreon patron. You can get some merch right below the video window, or you can grab one of my books on AnAmericanInBangkok.com or through Amazon. And if you need help with anything, feel free to shoot me an email, and we can set up a consultation. Now, what was I going to talk about? There was something else that I wanted to say. Oh, I'll tell you what. Lately, Singapore's, yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I've been there. I've been to many of the places there. I forget where it was. We went to the Marriott or the Sheraton, where they have the great beds. The beds are just fantastic. It was freaking expensive, man. I was like, holy shit, this place is... And I'm thinking to myself, why is it so expensive here? That makes sense to me. But I'll tell you what I do see coming out of America. Fucking crazy. Excuse my French. I'm watching American TV on Fire Stick, on my Fire Stick. And sometimes I watch like TV Land, I watch, what is it, American Movie Channels, what is it, TMC, the movie channel? What else? I don't know, Cinemax, FX, I watch a bunch of stuff. So, you know, I'll be sitting there, it's 6 o'clock, I'm like, all right, time to watch a little TV. I turn it on, and I'll see some commercial, and the commercial's a half an hour long. It's some lady talking about these pills that you take that help for your arthritis. It goes on and tells about how she's what the hell was she? An EMT. She said, I helped when the plane went down in the bay or whatever it was. I helped get the people out. In fact, I was a first responder. I was the first person there. And she's funny, this lady, so they probably put her on there because she was funny. She's an old lady. She's got to be 60, 65, 70. she says, my sister finally gave me these pills. I took these pills and fantastic. I feel better now. And she said, I'm not laying in bed going, oh. Now I say, come on, baby, let's go. That's what she says. So they got that commercial on. Then they got these other commercials on. And they're going, whatever the name of the product is, but it's something for, you know, your heart or your eczema or whatever the hell it is. And then it'll say, please note, use of this drug may cause, it's got all this list of things. It may, if you have high blood pressure, this can cause problems with your heart. This can give you, can cause sleeplessness. It can cause you to have blurred vision. It can cause you to have this. It can cause you to have that. I go, what the fuck good is this thing for? You're gonna have all these side effects. You're taking this one pill that's supposed to help with something else. And I'm like, and that's what all of the commercials are like on American TV now. And I just go, I don't even see this shit in Thailand because I don't watch Thai TV. I don't want to watch Thai TV. Every once in a while I'll watch a Thai movie. If it's a good movie, maybe I'll watch it. But I don't usually watch it because I don't want to see the soap operas and the crying and the that's what they do all the time. But, you know, I go on some of these channels and I see these commercials, you know, whatever it is, Rectum 1. You may have bleeding from the anus. Your anus may swell like a baboon's. They give you all these different side effects. And I'm like, what good is it to take it? And I'm like, is this what America's become? It's so commercial that they'll sell anything. Then you go on, they're talking about they're gonna switch your bathroom out. They're gonna switch your entire bathroom in a day. You're gonna have a brand new bathroom in one day. Give us a call now. It's a half-hour commercial. So, you know, I just wonder about that. And I just go, my God, I don't even want to watch this shit. I always change the channel. I always change the channel. Yes, I saw that, Andy. What's going on here? Anyway, let me get back to this. But these are some of the things that in the United States, I don't miss them. I don't miss the commercials like these half-hour. I'm like, wondering, is this a commercial? Oh yeah, it is a commercial. Jesus Christ. And then it's like, you know, it's a half an hour or an hour. It's an infomercial. Oh yeah, they've got the lawyers on there. Call us now. You could be entitled. And it's like, listen, if I'm entitled, I'm entitled. I don't need you to tell me this. Anyway, that's just funny, but let me take a look at this here. Now, even with the changes, Bangkok is still Bangkok, right? You can sip cocktails on a rooftop bar, and then a couple seconds later, you can eat street food down below at a market that's been around for, you know, countless decades. Mr. Sammy, how you doing? How's it going? Oh yeah, I'm a dad. That's right. Forgot about that. So, even though prices are rising, Thailand still offers a lifestyle that most people can only dream of. And that's the thing. I told somebody, you know, this is a couple of years ago. I said, oh yeah, they got QR codes. QR codes? What the hell's that? They didn't know it. I go, okay, so I want to deposit some money into my friend's bank account. All right, Andy, you take it easy. I want to deposit money into my friend's bank account. I just put it in a bank and it's deposited. Couldn't do that shit in America. You couldn't do these things. Now, apparently, you know, they're starting to catch up, but Thailand's ahead of the United States and a lot of other places. And, you know, I don't think they get enough credit. I think some people think that Thailand is still back asswards. I'm streaming right now, but I'm about to end and I'm sending my boys your way. All right, send them my way. What truly sets Thailand apart is the people, their friendliness, the hospitality, and the Mipe and Rai attitude generally is what makes the place special in a way like in no other way. I love that Mipe and Rai attitude, and I have learned it. Jai Yen Yen, okay. Yes, Jai Yen Yen is a big one. Sanook, that's another one, but Mipe and Rai is the biggest one. And that's pretty much what I say about everything. I might get a little excited, or I might, you know, whatever. But all in all, I don't get bothered by too much. Thank you, Sammy. Thailand is not just Bangkok from the islands, which I love, the coast, which I really like. I like the coast because you don't have any island fever. You don't have some of the higher prices that you have on the islands. And let's face it, you know, some of the places they charge an arm and a leg. And while 944, thank you. Here we go. The diversity of experiences is pretty incredible, and it's all accessible from here in Bangkok. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. Holy moly. Thanks, Sammy. Thanks, everybody. Listen, if you look at Vietnam and Malaysia, they are improving, but they don't have the same balance of culture, convenience, cost that Thailand has. And Thailand's infrastructure is still improving, and it already has a global reputation. I would say Thailand's infrastructure is probably in the top 20. And it will be in the top 10, top 5 in the next couple of years. Is it true that Hua Hin is God's waiting room? I don't know who told you that. I don't think it is. It's been, at one time it was very, very nice. Now to me it's a bit of a tourist trap like Pattaya or Phuket. It's a bit overcrowded like Phuket. There's pollution, there's traffic. It's got a lot of the things that other places have that you don't want. That was my I've been there, I was there about 2.5 years ago. And that, you gotta come to Bangkok, man. I mean, you know, Bangkok has it all. Then you go wherever you want to go. You got all kinds of places to go after that. That last sip was a bit harsh. Hua Hin is very nice, but it has all those negatives. I would choose the city of Prachuap before I chose Hua Hin. That's my opinion. Well, haven't you ever come here, Sammy? I thought you've been here. If you've come here, you know the answer to that. Well, listen, I'm gonna start doing some videos. If I were single, how would things be? If I were single, what I would do. Why does Chiang Mai suck and isn't overhyped? Does it suck? No. You need to be very careful about where you stay in Chiang Mai. If you're in the city, like where all the tourists are, yeah, then I don't like it. The other thing is the burning that the farmers do. It can be quite bad, and the air pollution can be quite bad, but it's only a couple of months out of the year. Now, if you go to the outskirts of Chiang Mai, you start going towards Chiang Rai, it can be awesome. I mean, I've done hiking in Chiang Mai, I've gone kayaking in Chiang Mai. Fantastic. It's awesome. You have a great time, you know. Reasonable cost. I mean, you know, I signed a 12-month lease in Ramanai, but I'm starting to realize I don't like the area. That's why you got to check out some things before you decide on where you're going to move. Ramanai's not a bad area, but it's busy. You know, Ramanai where? Ramanai is quite large. I mean, you know, you say Ramanai, it could be anywhere. It's not that bad, though. I mean, I wouldn't want to live there, no. But, you know, if I did live there for a year, maybe I'd make the best of it. I don't know. If you can get out of the lease somehow, well, then fine. But then you're going to move somewhere else, and you go, oh, do I like this place? Do I not like this place? Where do I want to live? Listen, I live in Bangkok because of my wife and my kids. That's the truth. I lived in Bangkok before because back then, people came to Bangkok because this was the place to be. They didn't usually live on islands nearly as often as now. Or, you know, on the coast or in other places. Yeah, they lived in Chiang Mai, they lived in Pattaya, they lived in Phuket. But I've lived in Phuket. I don't want to live in Phuket. I don't want to live in Chiang Mai unless I live out in the country somewhere. And even then, because of the burning season, you know, I don't really want to be there. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's other places that you can live. You know, it depends on what you like. You like beaches, you like mountains, you like, you know, islands. What do you like? You know, that's what you have to consider. And if I was single, I probably would not live here. I would live somewhere else. How much is it worse than the worst air quality in Bangkok? It can be pretty bad, man. It can be pretty damn bad. What do you think of the Thai concept of Jai? Well, it doesn't really matter what I think, but it is a prominent concept here in the country. I mean, you know, there's Jai this, Jai that, Jai di, Jai dum, you know, Suk Jai, Nam Jai, you know, there's all kinds of Jai. I would recommend, if you, and I mean, I don't say that I'm an expert on this at all, but I do know a few things about it. You know, Manjai is confident heart, but there are a lot of different, I mean, there are literally, you know, a couple hundred phrases using Jai. There's a book out by Christopher Moore. What's the hell's the name of it? A Heart Talk. That's the name of it. Fantastic book. Really, really good. I would say that book in itself, that's a great book. You need to have that. You need to have a dictionary. I mean, you can go online or whatever, but you know, there's a hell of a lot of books. But get my books, get my first book. And you know, if you're the kind of guy who falls in love with women, get the second book too. And then hopefully you won't be falling in love with Thai women so easily, because you don't want to do that. Hey dude, I might be stopping by Thailand next summer after I visit Japan. Anything to look out for? Cheers, brother. Well, your name is Coffee Slayer. I'd hit up some nice coffee shops. If you want the names of them, I can give you some of them. You know, I don't know who you are, how old you are. I don't know anything about you, so it's hard for me to say. But, you know, when it comes to women, be very careful. Don't expect much, you know. And if you want to expect anything, you're going to have to pay. Because if you come in and you don't speak any Thai and you go in, no good girl is going to go, oh, I'm going to jump your bones right now. It just doesn't happen. It's very unlikely. Unless you are the biggest stud and you walk around and you're showing some bling off. Even then, some of the girls, they won't even look at you. They won't even touch you. I see girls all the time, they won't even, I mean, they don't even want to talk to a foreigner because they just don't, you know, think about it. You know, Americans are a bit different. Brits are a bit different. They'll go with whoever. Australians, maybe they're a bit different. They'll go with other cultures. But Thais, yes, some will go with other cultures, of course. But the majority, there's a lot of them that, you know, listen, I'll be your friend, but that's it. I'm not getting involved with you. I got a boyfriend, he's Thai, and I got everything set up the way that I want it. That's how they think. So, you know, but that doesn't mean that's for, you know, that's going to happen all the time. But I really want to know what people think. You know, is Bangkok still special, or are the negatives getting to be too much for you? I know some people, they have a problem with the visa system here, but then I would say I got a problem with the visa system in Vietnam. Although when I was there before, I had an agent taking care of the visa system, the visas for me, and it was very easy. But you have no sense of permanency there because you cannot get a retirement visa. He spits some good fast. I've never heard of him. This place is definitely not the same as when I moved here, but when I think about everything that it still has to offer, the people, the culture, the quality of life, I still, as I said earlier, I think it's one of the better places in the world to live. I don't necessarily think it's the best, because you know what? I went to Ecuador and I thought, man, I can live here. This place is fantastic. I went to the Netherlands and I thought, oh, this place is fantastic. I can live here. I went to Cairns and I went, I love this place. I'd like to live here. You know, it depends on your frame of mind, you know. I just make border runs, but someone told me after a while immigration will give me a hard time. Well, yes, they will. If you're going to stay, how old are you? He's in Cambodia, Scott, but he spent most of the time in Southern. He says the chicks are mostly bad intentions. You know, I've changed my perspective about women over the years. If you don't take it personally what they're doing, it's much easier to get past it. You know, I mean, listen, I've been with Cambodian women, many of them. And, you know, much like other Asian women, they're looking at you as a way to move it on up. Now, if they're 22 and you're 23 and you're good looking and they really like you, okay, but eventually it's going to come to the point where they're going to go, how is this guy going to help my life? are we good for each other like that? The family may think that. That's what they think of. They're not thinking about, oh, he's got a huge dick. You know, they may love it, but that doesn't mean in the long term they're going to be going, oh my God, listen, he screws me good, so I'll stay with him all my life. You're not that stupid. 36. Thinking of getting a language learning visa. Well, not a bad idea. For sure, you should learn how to speak the language. How can you have love when they work 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, and family comes first? She really has to like you. That's what it is. With me, what it was is, you know, I'm doing the same thing I was doing back then, except I wasn't on YouTube. I was working in boxing. I was, you know, I was a journalist. I was selling things online. I was doing everything I could. And my wife was in school. But she had to go to school all the time. And she worked. She didn't have much time. So when she did make time for me, I was like, I felt good, you know, I felt like very lucky. Hey, she's spending her time with me. And even now, sometimes I go, Jesus Christ, you're not spending much time with me. You're always working. It's like, you know, this is how it is. And she's like, yeah, but you know what? I always come home to you at night. I'm always with you. And I'm here for, you know, 20-something, 27 years, 26 years, because I want to be. And that's the thing. If they want to be with you, they'll make time. That's that kind of girl. You just want to get laid. That's much easier. And I mean, I used to do the same thing. I used to just go after girls, you know, maybe they want a little money and give them some money. Boom. You leave. Maybe you see them again, maybe you don't. So she smiles at you while she does laundry on Sunday. Maybe. What's some big changes? Well, the SkyTrain and MRT are now in Bangkok. They didn't used to be when I first came. Let's see. Something you guys might relate to. Girls used to be about 500 baht. Now they're about 3,000, 5,000. Food was a lot cheaper. It was 15 or 20 baht. Now it's anywhere from 40 to 60 or 70 or 80 baht. Like here in the mall, food is, Jesus Christ, it's expensive. I mean, you can go to these little places here, these little shops, and you know, 60 baht, 70 baht, you'll get a meal. But you know, it's gonna cost you. Do you like Vietnam? Yes. Heard coffee is also amazing there. Yeah, it's really good. The coffee is really good there, but it's really good here. You know. So, you know, that works. For all the good things the BTS is given, but oh my God, they uglified the road. I don't care about that. I live right next to MRT. I like it better because they give me a discount. I get a 50% discount. Yeah, egg coffee is good, but like how many times can you drink egg coffee? Egg coffee is like a dessert. You want to drink egg coffee any day? Are there any Thai movies or Thai... yeah, there's a lot of movies that I like. I don't watch Thai TV shows very much. I watched one a while back. I don't remember the name of it, but it was with Bai Fern, who Bai Fern is a huge... she was a huge star. She still is a huge star. She's in all kinds of commercials. And I just saw her in another show on TV. I didn't watch it. But movies, let me see here. I gotta bring these up to try to remember them. PMOC, that's one of them. Let's see here. Surya, is that what it is? Surya. These are not showing me anything. Let me see here. Rook Phi Ong Bak. Very good. Beautiful boxer. That's with the boxer that I met. I met met her a while back, many years ago, with the TV star Srena Hoy, The Protector. That's another one. There's a lot of them out there. Do you know J. Marvin Brown? I never heard of him. Well, I don't know that that's that different from what anybody else is doing, but I think the books do help. And especially if you, what you really should do when you want to learn about Thai is learn how to read it, and you will speak it much better. The writing is difficult, but you need to learn it by reading it and speaking it. I'm in a mall and a coffee shop. It's not all about listening, it's about reading it as well. Yeah, for sure. All right, let me see something here. Now, a coffee shop, is that a question? A coffee shop in a mall? Watch the video of a guy who lives in Nantaburi by the river, small condo, huge building, 380 with utilities. Man, the amenities were tremendous. Also, so much food there. That's okay. That's not a bad price. I mean, Nantaburi is a bit cheaper than this part of Bangkok where I live. But I can tell you that the rent for our townhouse is like not even $200 a month. I wouldn't personally, I wouldn't move to either of those. I just don't, I don't want to go to Taipei just because of the China thing. And I wouldn't move to KL. I'd rather move to Bali or somewhere in Vietnam. Now, a couple of places where there is still traditionalism here in Bangkok. Bang Lampu. Very traditional shop houses, temples, and very quiet streets. It's not like Khao San, where Khao San is filled up with people who are just nothing but tourists. Bang Lampu, yeah, there are some tourists there, of course. And really, one of my favorite places is Talat Noi. It's you could call it a hidden gem, but it's filled up with Chinese heritage and little alleys and old architecture. It's really cool. I love it. I also like Kutichin, which is the old Portugal. They have the Santa Cruz Church. They have little bakeries with Portuguese sweets. There's all kinds of things in that area. Of course, Pat Klong Talat, which is the flower market. Bangkok's 24-hour market. That place is awesome. I went through there a couple months ago, walked through there, and streamed through there. Very cool place. One of the less touristy floating markets is Klong Lat Mayom Floating Market. That's pretty authentic. I mean, you know, if you go somewhere like Damnan Saduak, that market is all tourists. Let's see here. In Thonburi, there are a lot of klongs. So you can take boat tours through the canals, and you can see all these stilt houses, and just, you know, you can see things from the water that are just really cool. Yeah, what's wrong with a coffee shop in a mall, eh? Noise? I don't know. It is what it is, man. I always stream from the coffee shop, almost always. I'd say probably 80% of the time I'm in a coffee shop in a mall, or I'm in a coffee shop somewhere else. Do people in Thailand keep pets? Or Yeah, of course, Sammy. We have 2 cats that I didn't want. I didn't want these cats, and we had dogs before, and they died off, unfortunately. They died off, and then my wife found this cat that was, you know, little tiny cat, and she saw him, and she went, oh, so lovely. So she decided to bring him home without my approval, and then finally I went, all right, you can keep the damn cat. And then there was a cat that was in our front flower garden, Nancy. So we got Sid and Nancy. But Nancy was sitting there. She was tiny, like the size of my palm. And that cat was there one day. Then my wife came home and the cat was still there, so she fed it. Then the next morning, she went outside and the cat was still there, and then she brought it inside, and that was it. So, and I told her, don't bring home another cat because I will throw it out. I don't want it. I don't want a 3rd cat. We got 2 cats, and they are a pain in the ass. Now, as Sammy is saying, it's expensive. It's more expensive than you think. Not only do you need to take care of them medically, which means, like with Sid, we had to have his balls cut. Now Nancy is almost at the age where you got to have her tubes tied. But not only that, but you know, they want treats. Their food is expensive. We probably spend $15 a week on food, right? Another $5 for little sweets, you know, like little canones. So we probably spend $20 a week just on their food, just on their treats. Then we got to spend money on them for medical things. You know, not only that, we always have to make sure they're taken care of. We can't just leave and all 4 of us go on a trip somewhere and we just leave them in the house. We can't do that. Then you got to buy sand so that they can shit in the box. Well, that's catnip. So, you know, with the sand, I don't know how much the sand is, but it's probably $10. Probably paying $90, $100 for food and everything for them. We're probably spending an average of about $100 a month. That, to me, that's not cheap. Like a dog, you just buy one big bag of dog food for $30, $40 and it'll last the whole month. You know. Anyway. So, yes, we have cats. That's good. Some other places that you might want to go to. Kong Bang Luang Artist House, which is very nice. It's a blend of art and tradition on the edge of the canal. I've been there several times. That's where they have the coffee shop, Smell Dream Coffee, where they have a Roke manual espresso maker, which is what I have at home. And the guy's very good with the thing. He's better than me with the Roke. But, you know, he grows his own coffee, picks his own coffee, roasts his own coffee, everything he does himself. He's got a little shop that's got these expensive grinders and expensive machines. And the Roke, I mean, the Roke is like $250, $300. So that's a place to go. You can go to the Green Lung, Bangka Chau, which is an island, or the lungs of Bangkok. It's an island in the center of the Chao Phraya. Very green, a lot of traditional stilt houses, and the Bang Nam Pung floating market. You can rent a motorcycle, you can rent a bicycle, and you can ride through all the trails there. Very quiet. Now, another place that you can go if you want traditional, you want to get back to traditional, you go to Chinatown. All right, you know, it's a mix. It's a mix of traditional and modern. But if you go a little ways from Chinatown, and I'm talking about you can walk. there's a place called Bahtman. It's the Monk Bowl Village. It's one of the last places where the alms bowls are made for, they're crafted for the monks. It's fairly close to the Wat Saget, the Golden Mount, which I've been to that many times. That was a huge historical, that place was hugely historical, because something like, I don't know how many, let me see how many people died there. Wat Saget, is that what I said? Oh, 60. Wat Saget was the capital's crematorium and the dumping ground for some 60,000 plague victims in the late 18th century. At the base of the Golden Mount, you'll find an unusual cemetery covered in vines and overgrown trees. It was from cholera. A lot of people died from cholera. Now, that place, very cool place. And like I said, hugely historical, fantastic place. You can go there, you can take a walk up to the top. Hey, listen, do me a favor. I don't want to have to ask again, but leave me a thumbs up. It's one thing, I understand you guys, maybe you don't want to give a super chat or super thanks or anything like that, but leave me a thumbs up. We've had like 45, 50 people in here, and I got 17 thumbs up. Thank you very much. Listen, I've been to all kinds of coffee shops here. I got a list that's, I don't know, it's about 100 coffee shops long. And I'm trying to make a website out of it, but I haven't had the time and the desire to follow through with it, but I need to do that and get it done. And there's a lot of good coffee shops here in Bangkok, and there's a lot of really cool coffee shops where maybe the coffee is just average or so-so, or it's traditional Thai coffee, where, you know, they're putting sweet cream in it, you know, whatever it is, or sweet milk in it. I don't use Discord, man. I'm old school. I don't usually do that. I don't know why, but what was I going to say? Oh yeah, but like, you know, that place somebody was talking about the other day where it was like, I think it's something like, I went to a place once, it was like 125 years old. It was like one of the oldest coffee shops in Thailand. And one of the oldest coffee shops in Asia. And I went there. And then there was another one that's like, there's another one that I went to in Chinatown that I may go to soon. It's called, what is it? ESA? I forget the name of it. Let me see here. Hang on. No, that's not it. Okay, there's the one that I went to was Ek Teng Pu Ki, which is, this says it's like 105 years old, but the one I went to, ESA, is 96 years old. And unfortunately, what they did was, there was a coffee shop that was one block back from Yawarat Road, which is the main road in Chinatown. And one day I go walking through there, I'm looking around, I'm like, where the hell is the place? I'm like, I can't find it. I'm like, what's going on here? And then there was this area, it was about 2 or 3 shop houses that was under construction. And it's all knocked down, and I'm like, I think it was right here. I was like, son of a bitch. So I look on like Google Maps, and I find out that if you go straight and off to the right a little bit, they moved up a ways to the right. They had a new location. And I said, oh, okay, I'll go there. So I go there, and it's like, everything is brand new, and it kind of detracted from The place is 96 years old, and they got a brand new building. They're in a brand new place. And I was like, it takes away from it. So I may go there again just to go there. But then there's another place right down the street. It's on the same street where the ESA used to be, and it's probably 3 or 4, maybe 5 doors down. I don't even remember the name of it because I just can't keep all these straight in my head. But that one is also very old, and it is also very new. It looks very new. They've really updated it on the inside, and it's a very nice coffee shop. So there's a lot of places that I go sometimes that are really cool, and the coffee shops are, the coffee sometimes is decent, but maybe it's only 30 baht, maybe it's $1.95. But the inside and all the memories that they've got, you got people there, and you got people going in there that are 100 years old, 95 years old. They're old. The oldest coffee shop is unchanged and run by the son of the founder. Across from the, well, you got to give me a name. And I don't know if I've been there, but I probably have been. I don't know that. I don't watch that stuff, man. You gotta look. I can't tell you what it is. And I've probably done it. Oh fuck, man, I can't even remember. Klong 12, where? I don't even remember. You asked me, you know how many, listen, I've done almost 2,000 videos and streams. When I say I have forgotten more than some people have done, I really mean it. And it's not because I'm so great, it's just because I've really forgotten. So I'm new here. Were you FBI? No, I mean, everybody asks me that because I wear this shirt. Carlos, who was in the stream earlier, gave me this shirt, and I like it because it's very comfortable. It doesn't bind. I'm not bound up, and I have a little room. And I don't like shirts where I'm like, like this. I don't like that. So, thank you, Carlos. Somebody came the other day from this guy who had been in China for a long time, and he had been living here for about, I think, 6 months. He's supposed to meet up with me at some point. He said, oh, I see you here all the time. I'll come in one day. And I said, okay. He goes, are you FBI? I was wearing it, like a week ago. And he goes, are you FBI? And I go, no, I'm not FBI. I'm CIA. I'm not CIA either. Anyway, yeah, what is the name of that place? Let me know. Because there's only like 3 coffee shops in Bangkok that are really old. The only reason that I wear that shirt, I will tell you why I wear that shirt. I went into Spencer Gifts. When I was home in Florida. And they had all these shirts up on the wall, and they said, listen. Oh, Tian Li. Yeah, okay, I remember that. Let me see if I can find the... Where's the maps? And so it was like buy 2 shirts, get 1 free. So my kids each got a shirt. And then my wife goes, oh, why don't you pick one out? And I went, oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know which one it is. Lee Tia Singh? No, I don't know about that. So anyway, I got that shirt just because I know about the movie. I don't even remember. I've seen it. I don't even remember it. But I know about it. So I was like, let me get the shirt. I got the shirt, and now every time I wear it, somebody goes, oh yeah, man, cool shirt. Well, thank you very much. Usually I do 2 or 3 a week, 2 or 3 streams a week. Maybe I'm gonna decrease them, I don't know, and increase the videos a little bit. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure things out. It takes me a couple months to figure out things. Yeah, I don't remember where that was. Oh, is this it right here? Long Tiang. Oh, that's the one. That's the one that I said it's new on the inside, and it's an older shop. Yeah, that one's the one. I think it's one soy set back. It's pretty good. Now, where am I here? Frosty the Snowman in the background. Yeah, Tia Yang Lee. I've been to that one. That's the one. I think that's the one. Let me see here. Hang on. Oh no, this one, Tia Yang Cafe. No, that's not it. I don't think that's it. No, that's not it. Songkla. God damn it. The problem is that the spelling. Thailand's oldest cafe, bazaar, snacks, and movie sets. It's funny that they say that that's what the oldest is. Let me see here. I mean, if it is, good catch by him, because I thought it was the one. Yeah, I don't know if this is it or not. Let me see this here. I don't want to look at just what he says. I got to look at other stuff. It could be. Yeah, I think I went to Tiang Yang Li a couple. Let me see. I don't remember how I spelled it. That's the one that was out a long ways. You know, I got a taxi, and I made the taxi wait for me, and he took me, to there, and he waited for me, and then he took me back home. I think that's what it is. Let me see. I'm trying to find it. Tia Yang Li. Lam Luka Road. No, this is not the same place. I guess that is it. Let me see here. All right, so it's a half an hour away, and this is it right here. Yeah, this is not the really old place that I thought, because that place was a lot older. That place was like 125 years old. The one place that I went, I don't know if you guys remember, it was very old, it was all made of wood, and it was just a fantastic place, but let me see something here. What the fuck is this? They don't show anything on this one. I don't know how old this bizarre snacks place is. A lot of people say that places are the oldest places. They say, oh, this is the oldest coffee shop or whatever. And maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I know another coffee shop that is something like 150 years old, but they shut down during the war for like 40 years. So it's not really the oldest shop. Yeah, 119 years old. Well, that sounds about the same as the place that I went to. Seriously. In fact, that could have been older. The place that I went, I think it might have been older. And I'm not just saying that. I mean that. And I got to find the name of this freaking place. You know what? I got my coffee list. Let me take a look at it. That's going to help. That will help a lot. Oh, there's Christian churches in Thailand all over the places. Let me see here. Tea Yolk Coffee Shop, no. Hong Siem Kong, no, that's not it. Tia Yong Lee in Pathum Thani. Let me put that down here. Yeah, you see this one in September of 2563, which is 4 years ago, it was 114 years old. Now it's 119 years old. It's in Pathum Thani, in Lam Luka, Tia Yong Lee. It dates back to, it says 1906. But I have not been able to find the other one, the movie, the Bizarre Snacks and Movie. I haven't been able to find it yet. And I want to. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look for it. You know, when I get a chance offline, I'll take a look at it. And I know that the OTR, you know, I know he's good about things, but he's got a caffeinated tour of Bangkok's historic cafes and breakfast. And I've been meaning to make, a video about some of the better coffee shops in Thailand. And let me see if I remember this place, where he's going. Oh, noodle snacks, story of cafes, Tia Yong Lee. It's the same fucking place, man. He's at Tia Yong Lee. This was done 10 days ago. And I did it a while ago. It was, I did it back October 22nd, 2566, which is a little more than a year ago. So, there you go. It's not called Bizarre Snacks and Movie Sets. I thought that's what the name of it was. That's not what the name of it is. It's Tia Yong Lee. But I think there is an older place, and I have it. It's the only place that I have not gone on my list of places to go, of coffee places to go. It's the only place I haven't gone, and that is a place that I think it's something like 140 years old, 150 years old, but they closed it for like 40 years, and it just opened up again, and I was like, I don't know if I count this one, you know? Honestly, in the U.S., I drink way too much Mountain Dew. And I don't drink soda, man. I don't drink any soda. None. I used to drink it sometimes. Now I don't drink it at all. I drink water, tea, coffee. Once in a while, I'll have some orange juice, and that's about it. So Tia Yong Lee, but the only thing is that Tia Yong Lee, the thing with Tia Yong Lee is that that shop opened up. I'm not sure if it was 1911 or 1919 or something. I don't know when it opened up. But what happened was the father or whoever opened the place up, the grandfather, whoever it was. The lady is pretty old there, but who runs the place, her and her husband. But originally they sold coffee from the boats. They had a canoe and they went around to all the little shops and they sold their coffee, and that was Tia Yong Li. Then they got a permanent shop, and that is what they have now. So, very interesting. Very interesting place. Well, I don't know you want to drink more fruit drinks either, to be honest. I mean, most fruit drinks have sugar in them. They always have fructose in them. So that's why I don't really drink a whole lot of them. I mean, once in a while when I feel like I'm drained, I'll have like some orange juice or something like that. All right, let's see here. Where was I? Okay, now I got to tell you this. We got a couple minutes left here. A significant portion of the populations in Thailand and Singapore are of Chinese descent. In case you don't know that. And the Chinese traditions such as Lunar New Year celebrations are prominent in all three countries. And all three have integrated Chinese cuisine into their food culture with variations in style and ingredients. Thailand is predominantly Buddhist. Singapore have Buddhist and Confucian traditions influencing their societies. And the values such as respect for the hierarchy and respect for elders is evident in all three of these countries. So in a way, Thailand is already like China. It's like Singapore. It is whether I like it or not. Thailand, Singapore, and China showcase contrast between urban modernity and rural traditions. Although Singapore is almost entirely urban, but China and Thailand have rural areas with very traditional lifestyles, traditionally preserved lifestyles there. Let's see here. All three countries have seen significant economic transformations over the past decades. Singapore is the most developed, but China and Thailand are regional powerhouses with strong industrial and service sectors. Thailand is a global tourism giant. Singapore attracts travelers with its modernity and events. They have a lot of events in Singapore, I know that. It's not enough to make me get on a plane and go out there, but I went out a long time ago and I was like, okay, I'm going to take a train all the way there, and I did. But most of the time I fly. And China offers a mix of heritage and modern attractions. High-speed rails and public transportation are key focuses in China and Singapore, and Thailand is catching up with its Bangkok metro system. Let's see here. Thailand and Singapore are integral parts of ASEAN, closely linked to China, though, in trade agreements and initiatives like the Belt and Road Initiative. Not sure that's a good thing. I know, but it's still not good for you. You know that. Sugar is not good for you. Soda pop is not good for you, whether you're little or not. I mean, you know, I know people that are like 105 pounds and they're not remotely healthy because they eat like shit. Okay, all three governments maintain significant influence over their economies and societies, albeit in different ways. China operates under a one-party system, Singapore under a semi-authoritarian democracy, and Thailand frequent military influence in its politics. And let me tell you something. I've been looking around. Man, Thaksin, he sticks his beak in every bit of politics that he can. Every time I look on whether it's the Bangkok Post, Nation, Pattaya News, whatever it might be, Household English, anytime I see any news that has to do with politics, he's in it. And I wish he would not be in it. I wish he'd keep his beak out of politics and just shut up. And he never will. He never will. It's not going to happen. Political and social stability is emphasized as key to economic growth in all three countries. Well, okay. Oh, what is this? Hey, 10:36 p.m. over here in Panama, Central America. I'm going to wind down. All right, well, take it easy. Talk to you later. Be well. Choke Dilo, Juk and Mine. Where was I here? Media and public discourse are often moderated to avoid unrest. I don't even want to get started with politics here in Thailand because it's so crazy. They've got all these political groups, political organizations, whatever you want to call them, and every damn one of them causes issues with other groups. Education is supposed to be a means to improve national competitiveness, although I don't see that they've improved their education system all that much. And they're certainly not, okay, more people speak English, maybe they've gone up a little bit, but their education system, okay, take it easy. Their education system is still lacking, that's how I'll put it. Singapore is highly modernized but preserves pockets of cultural heritage, Chinatown and Little India. Okay, a little bit. Yeah, learned by rote. Thailand and China have more pronounced contrast with skyscrapers standing next to ancient temples and villages. Okay, rapid urbanization has transformed Bangkok, Singapore, and Chinese cities like Shanghai and Shenzhen into global hubs. However, rural areas, particularly in Thailand and China, the traditional lifestyles remain significant. So, I guess the question is Thailand following Singapore and China's path to modernization, or is it already there? Has it been there for long? I don't really know, but I know that Thailand especially, and Singapore too, they are influenced heavily by the Chinese, and they have been for at least 100 years, more than 100 years. Yes, they are. That's for sure. Alrighty. Well, listen. I'm going to say it again. Please do me a favor. Smash the like button. That would be great if you could do that. It doesn't cost you any money. The smashing the like button. It just costs a little bit of energy to go, boom, I smashed it. I'd appreciate that. That would be very good if you could do that. And if you want to do something else, everything's down below. You can do that as well. But I'm on social media. You can follow me there. I smashed it again. Now I don't like it. Okay. What else? Yeah, well, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it. Thank you for all those who contributed in one way or another. I appreciate that as well. I love this topic. It was a good subject to talk about today. And I need to find some more just like this because I like these where we interact and, you know, yeah, we may know some, but then we may not, then, you know, you get the, oh, God. Anyway, Scott, before you go, tell me some negatives about pie. You know, I don't know that much about pie, to be honest. You know, what was, I just was looking at it the other day. Yeah, it is it's a bit overcrowded and there's a lot of backpackers there. And that in itself makes me not like it too much. And you know, I used to be a backpacker. But I was a backpacker in kind of a different way. That is, now pie is like backpackers, digital nomads, you know, everybody's sitting around with their computer doing their work. Not that I'm not, but I don't usually go to a place just because I can do that. It's basically a tourism-centric town, and you know, I would rather go to Lampang. There's a couple other places I would rather go than there. Very basic medical care. It's a bit remote. And then, you know, it suffers from air pollution because of the burning season. You're still going to get that. Flooding occurs there because of the heavy rains. So there are some negatives there. And it's not nearly as much of a budget destination as it used to be. So you got that to think about. It's known for its beauty there and its laid-back vibe, but its rapid transformation from a very quiet town to being a tourist hub, which has been a tourist hub for many years now. It brings some other challenges. I personally would not, damn sure I wouldn't live there. I'll go there, but I wouldn't live there. No way. Not gonna happen. What makes an area of Bangkok better to live in? Well, maybe that is the next stream. I noticed a lot of hippie types seem to be there. Well, you say hippie, now they're called backpackers. Whatever, backpackers, hippies, whatever. You know, I don't mind them. It doesn't bother me like, you know, I'm so pissed off because they're there. It's just like, you know, if I'm hanging out, usually I want to be alone. I don't want to be around a bunch of people. Hey man, what are you doing here? What's going on, man? How you doing? How long you been here? Do you speak Thai? You know, and I mean, I just don't. That's the thing. I don't want to have to give my information to people because I ain't getting anything in return most of the time. You know? Like, I just want to be left alone, peace and quiet. You know, I meet somebody that I really like. Okay, yeah, that's fine. We can communicate. Maybe they have a lot to offer. Maybe I have a lot to offer them. I don't know. But I just don't want to talk to some young kids coming over and, oh my God, this place is the best, man. And they think they're hot shit because, oh, I've been traveling for 6 months and I've been here for 3 and, you know, I know what goes on here. Okay, all right, you know, that's good. Good for you. You know? So. They're lemmings. Yeah. Anyway. Thank you very much. I didn't get a super chat. What's happening here? Okay. Well, I don't care about the getting high thing. I mean, you know, listen, I used to get high. I understand that. It doesn't do anything for me anymore, and I don't need to act anyway. I am what I am, and that's the thing. When you get to be like over 50 or 60, you start to just go, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about me. If they don't like me, oh well, big deal. And if they love me, okay, great. That's fantastic. But I don't need to love them. They don't need to love me. We are what we are. you know, I don't have anything against anybody. That Van Boys dude you love so much is in Pioneer. I don't love him so much. Oh, God. He was after me for criticizing. First of all, I don't think he'd be after me for anything. I don't think the only thing he has to be after me about is because I said that he drank, what the hell is it? The Kratom. Yeah. I don't think that kid would be after me. And even if he was, I'm sure we could work it out. It's no problem. And I don't care if he is there. I mean, honestly, it doesn't make any difference to me. He's having a good time doing his thing, whatever. Dude, do your own thing. I'm different than he is, though. Maybe we're similar in some ways, but he's very different from me. And I'm not, 20 years old anymore. So. And Pi is, I'd like to go there at some point, but it's not top on my list. Anyway. That's all I got. We are done. I think we're done. Are we? This is the end. This is the end. That is all. We are done. Thank you all very much for joining me. I hope to see you next time. I am Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Bangkok, to be specific. Maybe the next time I'll be somewhere else. Maybe the time after that, I'll be somewhere else. I don't know. I'm going to figure it all out. We got Christmas coming, and this festive holiday season I'm going to use to relax and figure out what I want to do, where I want to go. Do I want to go with the wife? Do I want to go with the kids? Do we all want to go together? I'm just going to take my time and figure things out. I'm going to watch some movies, try to get motivated and inspired. And, and I probably won't drink any eggnog, honestly. I just won't. I'm not really into it. Anyway. Yeah, no, it's just not. I don't want sugar. I don't want that sugar, man. Anyway, I gotta go. Yeah, I don't want any ice cream either. No ice cream for me. All right. Well, you guys have your ice cream, your coconut juice, and all that stuff. And be mellow, be cool, be relaxed, giant yin. Mike and Rye. Take it easy. Don't let nothing bother you. All right? That's how I'm trying to be now. I don't want anything to bother me. No problem. So you guys, do me a favor. Take it easy. Take it as easy as you can. Appreciate it, and I will see you all later. Take it easy. Boom.